All right, everybody, this is a follow-up to my previous podcast that I had on my Baltic vacation I took here this summer with my wife and my two daughters. And it was a Baltic cruise, and it was for 10 days. And we started off in England, in London, and then from there we went to Kiel, which is basically Hamburg in Germany, one of the largest ports in the world. One of the things about Hamburg is that it was absolutely flattened in World War II. It was 75% of it was completely bombed out. There was nothing left, a parking lot, if you will. And they've rebuilt. The city is beautiful, canals, kind of like Amsterdam, canals, rivers all through it. It's absolutely beautiful. And, they say that the national bird of Germany is the crane, the building crane, because that place was flattened in World War II. I mean, so many cities were flattened. And so they are still 80 years later rebuilding that country, and they're doing a magnificent job, and they're rebuilding everything. You had these cathedrals that were 1,000 years old and demolished. And now you look at them and they look just like they did before the war. Now, of course, they're recently rebuilt. They're not 1,000 years old anymore, but they look the same, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Go, 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 go. The time I would go is not in the middle of the summer. That's when all the Europeans are on their vacation. It's when it's the most expensive. I would go in September or possibly October. Everybody's back to school, back to work. The rates are far cheaper. The weather's magnificent then. It's great. And that's a good time to go. And you're going to save a lot of money by going at that time. After we went to Hamburg, we went to Berlin. And Berlin, we went to Potsdam, where they split up Europe right before the end of World War II. Potsdam was absolutely beautiful. Berlin was absolutely beautiful. We went to the wall. They had little pieces of the wall that were there. The Brandenburg Gate, we went there, had pictures taken. It was beautiful. We had a great time. From there, we went to Rhone, which is in Denmark. It's a little out of the way island there. We went there and visited. The next day, we went to Visby, which is in Sweden. It's the largest island in the Baltic. There you saw Vikings. The Vikings were big on that island, and they're still finding stuff all the time on that island, where they're excavating treasures, gold, silver, everything that those guys buried there. They're finding it, which is pretty cool. From there, we went to Stockholm. Stockholm is a large metropolitan area. We loved that. We had a great time there. From there, we went to Lithuania, and Lithuania is, again, East Bloc. Commie country. Went there, had a ball traveling. The people are the nicest people you could ever want. And it's interesting that when I was in the Air Force, we set nuke alert pointing at the East Bloc. Now here I am visiting with my girls and having a ball. That's the way it should be. I'm glad nothing ever happened from that, and instead we can go visit them instead of having a war with them. From there, we went to Gdansk, Poland, and Poland, they completely flattened it in World War II, wiped out all the Jews that were there, and now you go back and it's beautiful, and everybody's getting along, and it's wonderful. It's such a pleasant place to go. From there, we went to Copenhagen, and of course, Copenhagen is one of the most beautiful cities. Again, everywhere we went, it was nice. They're rebuilding. They're getting back on their feet from the war. Of course, Copenhagen was not destroyed during the war, but some of these other places they were. And it's delightful to go back and see all that and see how they're building and how the people's resilience is so strong. And get off your duff and go. You get one life. I go to funerals all the time, and I see these people that I opened up 40 years ago. They saved, they scrimped, and now they die, they leave their money to their kids, and they didn't do these things, and they didn't have these kind of fun things. Call me, and I'll tell you all about how to do it. Till next time, have a nice day.